just in case that GoPro footage is completely unusable. This is the end of wide drop season. Just kind of hitting this field a second time. What happened here must have been really wet and hard packed or something, but going over this little spot. I'm only putting on 10 to 15 gallons an acre. Right now I'm at 15 gallons an acre for the second pass because I've already hit this once at 30 gallons an acre. Plus we put some on with the planter. So just trying to keep it moving along. It's been a little drier. We've gotten a couple rains that have saved us, but it really hasn't amounted to much. So yeah, cruising right along, a little over 6 miles an hour right now, just because we're putting on that lower rate. I was able to do this, actually I was able to run about a little over 6, putting on that 30 too, but that's about it. Then you get bounced around too much without duals, and you go any faster, you really, the pressure goes up so far, and then you got to worry about, blowing hoses apart and whatnot. There's just no need for that, so this goes really nicely. It's a nice rig to run. Gotta say, with the year we've had, late we were, it was wet, and it got really dry and whatnot. We're actually pretty impressed with how the crop looks, knock on wood, thanks to God, and hopefully it stays that way this summer, and we can have a nice harvest. So yeah, we're just finishing this off. I threw the drone up. I don't know when I'll throw that in there, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed those. So kind of enjoy getting those videos in there and whatnot. So most of the field right now, this is kind of the middle of the ground planting. It's just rubbing that bottom, or the bottom of the front axle. Some of the first planted stuff, I wouldn't be able to get through anymore. It's to the point where, the one night I pulled out and they had a lot of horse manure there, but it was almost level with that chrome center marker on the hood. But most of the field was getting up to that, it was really starting to push the top of the mud flap. And you get above that, you're gonna have issues. You might snap it off. So we just, yeah, we're doing the best we can here with the conditions that we're dealt, but I got to keep pushing. This is the last of it because we might have a chance of rain coming tonight, but then it's going to get dry again for a week. But the rain's really nice because it pushes that 32 in, doesn't let it sit on the ground for the heat to kind of bake. The rain helps push it in down to the roots, and then it can stay there and be more usable to the plant versus just sitting on top waiting for a rain or waiting for heavy dews and whatnot. This is probably what most of it looks like. Some of it along the headlands there was pushing up on that mud flap again, but it's kind of varying. This is down like a wet spot, so it kind of emerged goofy, but definitely getting to the point where I don't want to be driving on it too many more days here. So good thing it's the last day. It maybe would be nice to have a self-propelled taller one so we could hit it, a little later on, but there's so many different schools of thought on when you should be hitting it, in terms of like when the plant's deciding its ear size and whatnot, but I think it's going to turn out real nice. I've been impressed. You can definitely tell where we've been when I've left off and got rained out for a day or two, or we've been waiting on a semi. You can definitely see it, the distinct line of where I left off. The corn just has a, just looks more lush, dark green. Even here you can see a little yellowish tint, so it's good to keep that corn in that dark green. It's full of nitrogen, it's ready to go. And I gotta jump over here, there's the Otero, and just keep it so it's never gets stressed when it's trying to decide its ear size, so that it can be the best crop we can get. So yeah, I've been impressed. I went over a couple other fields a second time, and it was not really looking like it used it up from the first time, but you could see it in a few sandier spots on the hill. Went back a couple days later. I mean, it's all dark green, looking like a really, I'm just excited. Hopefully the weather keeps, we keep getting some rains, and that's all we can do. And look at that, we are done.